All right, so you already know which top end plays you want to pay up for. Maybe you're trying to get to Scotty, John Rahm, Brooks Koepka, but you don't know which values to be playing with those guys. Which ones maybe have the best safety to make the cut, which ones also present the best upside. Well, I'll be touching on that in this video. So let's go ahead and start out with just the 9-to-5 lineup builder. What the data is telling us are the best values. And this is more just off of a projection basis, which is based off of the 9-to-5 model, and also what Vegas thinks is going to occur, which I'm still up in the air if I like including Vegas data because they haven't been that good this year. But looking at it, guys, we can clearly see Siwoo Kim is going to be one of the best values out there this week. Really, my biggest hesitation with him as a play would be looking at something like weather with him. I want to look at like bad weather here. And so, I don't know, let's just do over the last 20 for Siwoo Kim. He is someone that really just does not pop up there when we go to like value. He's starting to get into the red in terms of like bad weather plays. So that's my biggest concern with him. But at the same time, if you are someone that's looking for value plays, 7.1 is very cheap. So you're not probably too worried about that. Now, he has been a safe and reliable player. Also provides some great upside for you guys. That's something to be determined. At the same time, if you are worried about weather, then you're probably looking at Shane Lowry as one of the best clear-cut values on the board. Now, 8K to me, that's not exactly a value. To me, value is really like 7.5 and lower, or even 7K and lower. Now, it is a major. Pricing's kind of soft, so you can include him in the values. Then we have Russell Henley, Patrick Reed casually popping up in there. I'm shocked by that. I don't exactly like him. Then you got Harris English and Taylor Moore. Even Matt Fitzpatrick is popping up as a great value as well. He's going to present a lot of GPP upside. So that's the thing about all the best value that we're seeing here is a lot of these are logical, but let's just go ahead and look at it in a slightly different manner. So what I want to do is I want to get into the 9-to-5 data, and I'm just going to pull up the data slicer. And what we're going to do is we're going to filter the data based off of the salary here. Let's just drop it to like, we'll start with 8K. We'll go down to 8K and lower. And so what we're going to see is like clearly Shane Lowry is going to be a great play because on paper he's a great play. So he is almost a lineup starting point. So I don't really view him as a value play. I would more categorize him as a lineup starting point, just given his pricing that he's out. Now, some play like Matt Fitzpatrick, where he's below 8K, is a little bit risk reward, but I want to call it that his past two finishes that he's had since he apparently made some change in his driver. I touched on this last week. Like, guys, I don't really get it. He says he had like a weight in his driver grip. I don't even get what that means or how that would occur. But anyways, since he has taken the weight out of his driver grip, he has since finished top 10 twice. So I do think that is something we should take into account. And really, he is top 30 or better in all the key metrics that we look at. So I don't know. He is something that I think we could be looking at top 10, top 14. He makes for a great GPP play, I would say. From there, Tigala is someone that's really popping up as well. He's been playing pretty well thus far this season. 7 straight made cuts on the PGA Tour. 3 pretty good finishes in a row, with 2 of those being top 10 finishes. We can see key stat-wise, guys, solid there. Top 17 stat fit, top 13 in the metrics. The biggest knock with him, data point wise, is going to be how Vegas views him as a play. Vegas doesn't really think Tigala is going to be a great option, so thus he's getting knocked a little bit. From there, I think, again, Corey Connors to me, I don't really consider a value play because I consider him more of just like a lineup starting point at his price tag. Now, I did consider him this last year. He was a very big disappointment, finishing 73rd. But prior to that, he had 3 top 10 finishes, and he's been playing great as well on the PGA Tour recently. The top 25 finish last week was not as good as I would want. At the same time, good enough, especially in a tournament in which there was a lot of bad weather as well. He ended up on the wrong side of the tee time as well. From there, we got Tommy Fleetwood. He makes for an excellent value play as well. Form could be a little bit better, but still top 20 in the field. He hasn't exactly dominated this course, but at the same time has been able to make the cut. And at this price tag for him, 7.5 on DraftKings, that's all you're really searching for. And so he gives us a lot of safety at a cheap price tag. So if you roll with him, that's fine. Patrick Reed is, I don't know what to do with him. I don't know what to do with the live golfers. In all honesty, it's like, what do you do with them? Because we don't have enough relevant data on them just yet. I would say really after this year's majors, we should be able to properly figure out how to value live golfers coming into this, because last year the Masters was like the least predictable. If you I don't want to get into it too much, but if you get into like the live golf data, the results were more random. Also a smaller sample size in terms of players that were in the field as well. So you can't really come to conclusions there. That's why I want more data that goes into that. But he makes a lot of sense. If you're chasing course history, I mean, that's phenomenal. 4th, 35th, 8th and 10th. I mean, that is very difficult to ignore. Then from there, we can get into some other plays like Akshay. He's certainly interesting. Now, a lot of the times, first-time golfers do not play well at the Masters. I already touched on this a little bit. The reason why golfers playing in their first Masters typically don't play well at this tournament is because they really aren't good plays for that Masters tournament. Tagala is kind of a good example of this. His first start here, he played extremely well because, well, he was looking like a pretty good play on paper last year. So I do kind of expect Akshay to be able to make the cut. At the same time, he is coming in off of a victory, kind of a stressful victory. Maybe there was a shoulder injury. We don't exactly know what happened there, but he's not someone I feel the need to get out of my way to go to. Then we have Henley. He's popping up. We know Russell Henley. He's a GPP play every single week because when he's on, he can give us that 4th place finish. That's why I was on him last week, because he provides that GPP winning upside. And it is very difficult not to like him a decent amount. If his ownership, let's say, is 15%, I'm happy to be even weight with the field. Let's just put it that way. I'm probably going to be on Russell Henley about 15% ownership, maybe more than that as well. Siwoo Kim, though. Siwoo Kim, again, is an excellent play. The one concern would be how he plays in bad weather conditions. At the same time, only 2 of the rounds are going to be like that. Maybe he's on the good AMP tee time wave. We don't know what that's going to be just yet. If there is going to be a weather advantage or whatnot for a certain wave, that's to be determined once the tee times come out. So something to monitor for sure, but he's fine. From there, let's talk about pricing wise, like under 7K plays here. We got Chris Kirk popping up as a good play. I think that's fine. Keegan, not playing as well recently, but maybe someone you guys want to look at. To me, the 2 clear-cut values in terms of, let's say you're trying to get Jon Rahm into a build and Scotty Scheffler, or maybe Brooks Koepka as well. These 2 plays make a ton of sense. Taylor Moore makes more sense just because we've seen him play at this tournament and finish 39th, making the cut, which at this price tag is really all you want from him. But coming in off of a 2nd place finish, really just been a cut maker, providing some good results. Like if you compare him to the back end to other golfers that are at this price tag, he is clearly mispriced. He probably should be a 7K player that we're getting at 6.4. He just doesn't have a lot of name value. And if you guys are someone that did best ball drafts for Underdog, he's been carrying. He was the last. That doesn't matter. Most people don't care about that, but he was the last pick for me in a lot of drafts, which was awesome. And then we got Austin here as well, who he's looking like a good play. I mean, really good stat fit. We can chase the stat fit there, but 37th, you just like that pricing as well. So again, a little bit different to break down for you guys, really just in terms of priority for you guys and how you want to go about making your builds. But I wanted to go through each pricing tier for you guys. That's the best values for the Masters. Hopefully you enjoyed the coverage. If you did, make sure to give a like and subscribe.